Hi makers, my name is Esther and I'm with Makesy. Today we're going to talk about fragrances. What is a fragrance? A little history of fragrance. What is a perfume? And we're also going to get into olfactive families. So what is a fragrance? A fragrance is very simply something that smells good, a pleasant, sweet smell. That's a fragrance. And what is a perfume? Perfume is taking that fragrance and adding it into a carrier, whether it's alcohol or oil or a balm. All you're doing is adding that fragrance into a carrier, and there you have it. That's a perfume. Now, the olfactive families are pretty much the staple of fragrances, meaning how do you categorize each fragrance? So is it a citrus? That would be an olfactive family. Is it a floral? Most people love florals. So you have rose, you have gardenia, so that's an olfactive family. Then you have woody notes. It could be patchouli, it could be sandalwood. That falls under the woody family. And then you have the very popular fruity notes. That's also an olfactive family. And that could be anything that's, it could be berries, it could be an apple, it could be pear notes. Then we can move along to spice notes. Spice notes such as cardamom or pepper or cinnamon. Cinnamon and clove are very popular for the holidays. Those fall under the spice category. And then you have some aquatic fragrances that are very ozonic, fresh, very light and airy. Those would be ozonic, aquatic. We have pretty much an array of families. Some of them overlap a little bit, some of them don't. You have amber. Amber is very resiny, kind of sexy. You have herbaceous, like lavender is an herbaceous floral, but we tend to put lavender under the herbaceous category. So these families are just an easy way for us to be able to put groups together. So in florals, if you want to, if we want to show you a bunch of florals, we have rose, we have gardenia, we have jasmine, we have peony, we have Hawaiian hibiscus. There's so many. And it's just really a way to make it simple to classify all the different fragrance notes. Perfume goes back to 3000 BC, where the Egyptians burned resins and woods and used those resins and woods as perfumed elements in religious ceremonies or various rituals. Then a couple of thousand years later, they started to take those elements, the burnt woods and the resins, and they started putting them into water and alcohol or oils. And then that's when they started to use perfume on their body. All they did was rub that oil that had the mixtures from the resins onto their bodies. The French decided that they would use the word perfume because it comes from the Latin perfumus, and that means through smoke. This leads us to modern perfumery, which pretty much started in France, where all the perfumers were there and all the designers were there, and you had Coco Chanel, who created Chanel No. 5. And it was very chic to have, your own perfume back in Europe. Nowadays, it's so much easier to have your own fragrance. The availability of raw materials, the essential oils that are available, chemicals are constantly being created with new olfactive properties for people to be able to really explore new and unique scents. I believe back in the 80s, Thierry Mugler created a fragrance that was very gourmandy, and that gave the rise to gourmand fragrances. His fragrance was called Angel, and everyone at that point wanted chocolate and coffee, really yummy type fragrances. So really, the evolution of perfumery never ends. It continues as we continue to find new ways of relating to nature, as we find new ways of creating natural ingredients. It's never ending, and it's a beautiful thing because it's nature in process, and that gives you the ability to create something that's special to you, special to your life, and something that's fun to work with. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay in the know on all our latest tips and tricks. Now go make it happen.